Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
How we doing?
How are we doing? Oh my God.
Raise your hand if you haven't showered since Tuesday.
Oh my God. Ooh. I was like, we both have our hair back. We both have not showered.
We have not.
For sure.
Lots of dry shampoo.
Yep.
And honestly, when you like slick your hair back like this, it's almost like better for it to be greasy.
Yeah.
Why, when you do it like that, does it give like wealthy vibes?
I know. I always like whenever I see the Kardashians. Sorry, ladies. I know you listen.
Yeah.
But when they have their hair like super slicked and it looks like wet, I'm like, why doesn't mine ever look classy when mine's wet?
Yeah.
It's
when
rude.
mine's all greasy and gross, why do I just look sad and gross? Why do I just look depressed?
Maybe you just have to put some earrings in. Because that's what you got right now. You got
I know. I did that.
Like,
I wore a chunky necklace one time and hoop earrings, and I was like, oh, bingo.
All of a sudden, not gross anymore.
Fashionista.
Looks like I was supposed to be this way.
Yeah. Anyway.
To be fair, it's only Thursday, so we're not like gross. 2 days is like,
oh, yeah.
not even close to half the time I've gone without showering.
Yeah. I normally just get like a weekly 1 or 2 in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel bad about it.
No.
Neither should you in your car who's nodding along. I see you.
Yeah, we do. And we smell you.
We smell like you. So what was Tuesday? Oh, only the greatest night ever.
Pearl Harbor. It was.
The
but
day
also,
after St. Nicholas Day.
Sorry. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, St. Nick?
Yeah, we did an episode and talked about St. Nicholas and how it was kind of weird.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Must be the name.
But that was Monday, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, unimportant.
So Tuesday, we had our live show.
We did.
Oh, you guys, what an incredible experience.
It was.
I honestly had to crash. Of course, it was the first night that I had a babysitter because, we had to be further away. And so I had terrible anxiety about it coming up to the day. And then finally I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll get to sleep. That would be cool, get a little sleep in. But by the time we finally got home, it was so late. And then my adrenaline was just buzzing. I tossed and turned in bed for like 2 hours.
That was how it was too after the meet and greet. So to all of you who had an opportunity to snag one of the meet and greets, thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you.
Yes.
That was the best experience.
It really was.
But yeah, after both the meet and greets and the show, it was like
full body buzz.
Yeah. I've never experienced
rush.
anything like that. It was like a lot of emotions.
I've heard performers say that it's like similar to like a high you get, like a drug high.
I think I've talked about this on the podcast one time when I tried out for The Voice, and I was in a room with 10 people and like the executives of The Voice, and I sang, and I had never done any drugs at that point in time in my life. I've only smoked weed, okay, and eaten it. That's all I've ever done.
But imagine you like eating it off the plant, like a horse.
Yeah, I give horse vibes.
Yeah.
But I remember singing, and I told my mom, I was like, that is the closest thing I've ever felt to being high. Like it was just 2 seconds of singing in front of like 11 people.
No, but
and
still,
we were with thousands of people for 2 hours.
Yeah,
almost. So it was really, really fun. And I don't want to harp on it for too long because I know there's a lot of people who weren't able to either afford it or make it work because of time. And I don't want you guys to feel left out. We would love to have all of you there.
Yeah. And hopefully get this opportunity again. I'm sure that won't be the last one.
Yeah.
I hope
definitely not. And I look forward to when we're able to do them in person.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The amount of especially the meet and greets, we do those in person. I just can imagine crying and hugging the whole time because there's so many people that I was like, God, I just want to give you a hug right now.
Truly. And it was so comfortable because it was like we were already friends.
Yeah.
It was like we knew each other.
Yeah.
And like you guys do know us, but there was a level of comfortability that just felt like we were chatting with friends. So anyway, that was really, really cool. That was really special.
I'm so glad we got to do that with you guys.
Sierra and I are wearing some of our merch pieces today. I've got the Jebeka, which I've been pronouncing Jebeka.
I know.
Why didn't you
I just
correct
let you go.
me? Why didn't you correct me?
Because it's not a real word.
It is. It's your band.
It could be pronounced anyways. It is Jebeka.
I know. Wow, fake
you
fan.
were so happy with Jebeka, and I know that it was because it looks like Rebecca. So
Kind of.
I'm assuming that's where, and I just let you have it because
Well,
I was like,
but it's your band.
It's
that
not
I have
real.
infiltrated.
That's true. I feel so bad for the other 2 members.
I know.
No,
So
I'm just
sorry.
kidding. Sorry, they're on to bigger and better things.
Well, they're in Jebeka. We're in Jebeka.
That's it. That's it. We did the spinoff.
Yeah.
So
But
sorry.
we did steal Blue at the Dance. So
Yeah.
this is the...
To be fair, that is my hit.
It is.
So
This is
I have copyrights.
the Jebeka tour tee.
Everything was blue at the dance.
And Sierra has the
Everything you do is rooted in witchcraft. Ouija board.
It's a
not
Ouija board. Ouija-esque board.
Can I tell you when I was shopping for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
I hit the little tab to find like board games because I love a good board game. Hasbro, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first thing that popped up.
Shout out Play School.
Yeah. Well, I say Hasbro
Yeah.
because like the first, I was like, oh, good, like Monopoly and all that.
Mhm.
First thing that popped up was a fucking Ouija board. And I was like, wow, right? Black Friday sale.
Yeah. Literal Black Friday.
Yes. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get that for my child.
no,
so
we don't want to mess with that. We don't want to play.
No.
Not a fun game.
But this, we have some. I didn't even notice when Jerry first showed me that she added like little
Easter eggs.
Yeah, but there's a horse, there's a bunny.
And both of our zodiac astrology stars
Yeah.
around their combination wise.
Mhm.
And then like a sun and a moon. And I give like sun vibes and
And I'm
Sierra
very-
gives moon vibes.
I'm very moon vibes. For
moon
sure.
vibes only.
I am.
I have a story for you
Okay.
because we took a week off
Yes.
because of the show.
Live show, and it was, yeah.
Timing of it was we were not going to be able to record because I shockingly have 3 weddings in December.
Yeah.
So that's surprising to me.
Which I have to go to one of those, and
yeah.
I'm like, what do you wear to a winter wedding?
Coat.
Yeah. That's
So-
it.
so.
I'm going to take it off on the dance floor and be like, what's up, everyone?
Naked bum rush the dance floor. Literal bum rush the dance floor.
At my cousin's wedding.
Yes. Sierra and I are
Love
going to
it.
be at a wedding together on Saturday. So we
Yeah.
should probably put stuff on our story.
What?
So they can see
yes.
us out in the wild.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway. So I made a doctor's appointment
Yes.
and it's the first time I've been to the doctor in like 10 years. Okay. And I was super anxious about it. And they asked me on the phone when I made the appointment. They're like, do you know where we are? And I was like, yeah, I didn't.
Oh my God. And it's the same place that I went.
Yes.
And I did the same thing. And then I drove around for like 20 minutes trying to find it.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
you walked?
I parked my car. Okay, so where this doctor's office is, it's like 205. Okay, so I pull in and it tells me to go to the hospital, and I'm like, well, it's not in the hospital.
I was
It's
gonna
got to
say-
be over here where all of these other collective doctors' offices are.
Because the way that it's set up is like there's the hospital, and then like in a cul-de-sac area, there's just doctors' offices
Other doctors.
galore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at these buildings, and there's one building that says 200 really big on it,
Yep.
and then one that says 300 really big, and one that says 400 really big.
Exactly what you're in.
So I am like, if it's 205.
It's got to be in 200.
It's got to be at 200.
Yeah.
So I pull in, I park, and I'm looking. There's 3 doors. One of them is an OBGYN. I'm like, that's not where I'm supposed to go. The second one is a doctor's office that my sister works at, and I know that that's not where I'm supposed to go. So
Yep.
I'm like, door number 3, you're for me.
Yes.
So,
You were at my old OB's office.
no, this one's not an OB.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The building.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
You were at the building that housed my.
yes. So I go to the 3rd door. That's the only one that's not an OBGYN. I'm like, this has
is
got to be my door.
exactly what I did.
So I walk in and I go up to the receptionist and I say, hi, and she goes, take a seat. I'll help you in a minute. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm in the right place.
Oh my God.
So I
And
said-
you weren't. Spoiler alert.
I know. I said, okay. And so I went and I sat down and I'm just waiting there and time is passing and I know that I'm not in the right place.
Yeah.
But she told me to sit down. So I'm
that
sitting down.
You have to listen.
Right. And then this man goes up, she helps him, he leaves, and then she goes, Andrea, can I help you? And I'm like, am I Andrea? I don't think I'm Andrea.
Oh my God.
So I get up and I'm like, hi there. My name's Jerry and I'm supposed to see Dr. So-and-so. Is that here? And she's like, no. And I'm like, do you know where that is? And she's like, it's got to be in the 2-story building over there. And I'm like, tight. Cool. I walk out and in my head, I've already committed to being out of the car.
No.
So I won't get back in the car.
I know how far it is from where you were parked.
It's far. So I start walking to this building that's the the 2-story building. Guess what? Not that fucking building either. So it says it says 201, 202, 203. And I'm like, none of those are 205. And I am like wandering around this parking lot and I don't know where to go. And I can't get back in my car because I've already committed to being out of the car. So I just start walking through parking lots.
No.
And then I finally see really big on a sign 205. And I'm like, well, fuck, had I just driven a little bit farther?
Yep.
And then the walk back was much colder than the walk there because I didn't realize how far I was wandering because I dissociated.
You went so far.
I know.
Clear on the other side.
Yeah, I know.
Of the big U.
I know. It was a hike. It was a literal hike and it was cold.
See, I was in my car the whole time, but it's stressful because there's ambulances. It's right by the hospital.
Yeah.
There's people like going in and out of the hospital, walking, and they're like mad at you that they're having like emergencies, and I'm going so slow looking for numbers. Yeah. And I went to the same place because she said 205. I'm like, oh, my OB is right 200 something.
Yes, so
I know
it's
exactly
be
where to go. And I'm like, this is not it. I didn't even have to get out. I was just like, that's not where I was supposed to be.
Well, I got out, and then I got called Andrea.
She was mad at you.
She was like, I don't know why I never gave her any information. Why are you assuming my name?
Yeah. What? Because someone had an appointment?
I guess.
I'm not her.
I'm not.
Oh my God.
She yelled at me like, don't you know your name, stupid? Answer me.
That's not my name.
I know. But anyway, I got put on Zoloft.
Mm-hmm.
So I met with my doctor and this is something I want to say, and it is get multiple opinions. I'm not saying that I was misdiagnosed when it comes to any of the things that I have acquired on my mental health resume. But I think it's important to ask multiple professionals what they think.
That's
and
why I waited to get before I committed to saying I had ADHD,
right.
before I got both a therapist and a primary care doctor's
seal of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important to ask multiple people what their opinions are, because I went in there thinking I need to get put on ADHD medication.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's still the case. I won't know for another month probably. Right. But I was word vomiting to my doctor. So let me just not burp through this sentence. I was word vomiting to the doctor saying like, this is what I've been diagnosed with. This is what we think's going on. And these are the places we believe it's come from. And I'm just sobbing in the doctor's office.
Sure.
And then she starts telling me about this book. And she's like, I think you should order this book. And it's called Mind Over Mood. I ordered it. I haven't read it, obviously, because I'm me. But I was sitting there like, if this lady is about to prescribe me a book, when what I'm feeling is this bad, I'm going to lose my mind. Yep. And then shortly after, she's like, and I'm also going to prescribe you Zoloft.
You're like, there we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Atta girl.
And I also want to say, if you've had any negative experiences with Zoloft, please don't flood the comments with them.
Yes. Please keep them to yourself.
Yes. If you have any horror stories with medication, like I understand me sharing my journey with medication is like opening myself up to other people's opinions and kind of opening the door for other people to share their experiences. But like, there's one of me telling one of you what's up there's a lot more of you saying stuff back to me.
And it's overwhelming. And also, we're two people with anxiety. It's you might think you're being helpful in the moment, like, oh, just be aware. We are aware. Yeah. We've done the research. We are two very like
capable adults.
Yes. So just keep those things to yourself, please.
And like Sierra said, I know that people think they're trying to help by sharing their experiences, but like it's such an individualized thing.
Yeah.
And just like pregnancy.
Yeah.
Your journey with your labor and delivery, your pregnancy is your individual journey, and it has no weight on someone else's. And so like I've only been on it for a day.
Yeah.
And I know that it can take some time to notice a difference.
Sure.
And that time varies for everybody. But I will say I have kind of immediately noticed a change in a really positive way.
That's good.
I was warned like it could affect my appetite and it could make my stomach feel sick, and that I could have disrupted sleep and I could have nightmares and things like that. I'm on a really low dose.
Well, and I feel bad because I feel like I might have been like, wow, with my horror story with it. But I just
You're one person saying it to me
as like, and I was saying it more so as like, if you start to feel these things, be aware it could be the because for me, nobody told me those side effects. And so when it started happening to me, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Why am I feeling all of these things on top of this? And I didn't realize that if I waited a month, it would have.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah. But I also did a bad thing where I didn't give it time to regulate. And I also quit taking it cold turkey. Didn't know that was something I wasn't supposed to do. So that is like two of the things I try to tell people when they tell me.
No, that's super helpful. But you're one person. Yeah. And that's a private conversation that you and I had where like I feel safe hearing that information. I can't control how many other people are going to like
I know it was
info dump.
When I just said
good intentions, but
when I said one thing about my butt crack,
right.
I got so many people. You guys, a doctor looked at it. I promise. Thank you. But I know what it was.
It wasn't a
doctor
cyst.
Looked
it wasn't
at
a pilot. What do they call it?
Pilodontal or something cyst. It was just regular cystic acne. I've had it my whole life when it comes to periods and hormonal changes.
Yeah.
It just so happened that was the place where that one was.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything, but it was almost like, you know how when we freak ourselves out going on WebMD?
Yep.
But at least I can control that. Yeah. If I don't want to read it, that I'm going to die anymore, I can shut it off. I couldn't shut you guys off. It was just like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. And everybody's like, I had to have multiple surgeries. And I was like, I'm already freaking out about literally, I'm the worst case scenario type of person. If that's your thing, great. Please stop telling me because it's a cyst. That is what it is. I had to and it's also crazy to me how many people were so confident to tell me I got misdiagnosed when they never saw it or like looked at it.
On your butt?
Yes.
Was that on TikTok?
Yes.
Okay. Well, to be fair, they probably only heard that one clip and don't have the full story.
It's just crazy to me how many people can hear a 1 minute clip and decide like, no, your doctor is wrong.
Yeah.
I know what's right.
Yeah.
So just maybe be more aware that people like us are real people and we take what you say and it has effects on us.
And I think that we create this space that is like friendship based. And so like you swap stories with your friends, you share your experiences. There's just like a lot more of you.
Yeah. And it
can get overwhelming. But I have felt really good today, and I actually picked a day to take it where it was kind of challenged because I took both boys to the doctor by myself, and
that's good though,
Ollie was in the waiting room and he was like crawling on the ground, and I'm like, hey bud, can you come over here? I don't want you to get in the way and I don't want anyone to trip over you. I don't want you to get hurt. Can you please come stand over by me? And he went to crawl towards me quickly, but his arm just like stopped arming and he just went flat on his face, looked up at me, bleeding, just blood pouring from his mouth because his tooth went through his lip. And I'm like, I just said, get up, you're going to get hurt. And now you're running to me with blood on your face. I'm like, obviously I felt terrible because he was just trying to have a good time. And the doctor was taking forever to get us back. And so like
children at doctor's offices is the most stressful thing in the world.
But I didn't feel stressed.
Oh, good.
I didn't feel stressed. I didn't feel the need to escape into my phone.
Yeah.
I that feeling of I need to get out of my body because it's going to explode.
Because this is way too much sensory over
Didn't
freaking
happen.
load.
And so that was something I wanted to bring up is like, do I think I have ADHD as of this point in time? Yes. But something my doctor mentioned was like depression can manifest as ADHD.
Yep. And vice versa.
Right. So she's like, we're going to treat your depression, which is so funny because I didn't know I had it.
Yeah. Same with anxiety and like the panic disorder. It's just, yeah.
She's like, we're going to try and treat that. We're going to go for a month on this medication. And then if you are having any issues on it, like we'll try and switch to another one. And if that doesn't work, then we'll treat the ADHD and see if that does it. Mm-hmm. So as of now, day 1, I'm feeling really, really good. And like I told Shane that I have felt so drained of my energy, and it felt like I was battling this almost like monster inside of me. Mm-hmm. And I haven't felt the monster.
Good.
Like it's so weird to describe it in that way. And I think I have heard people describe it in that way.
It probably was me. I think
I've even seen it like on commercials, like drawn in that way, like it's a monster. But I genuinely feel that.
Yeah.
And it's just weird.
Which is funny because I think I was the opposite. I think my biggest issue was the ADHD. And I think because of things like that, and like, I think I also potentially have complex PTSD.
Yep.
So things like that, and the trauma were making me depressed. And in that way, it wasn't a chemical imbalance for me, but the ADHD is. So
right.
That part I should have been treating. And so when I got on Zoloft, the reason why I had such a negative effect was because I was treating the wrong thing, I think. Right. So that's good that it's having because right off the bat for me, it was like nothing. So that's good.
No, I noticed an immediate difference because I went to bed at like 1 a.m. because we launched our merch like for the people who were on at the live show. And when you guys email the team, you're looking at the team.
Mostly her.
Shane is working on it, but like if you get an email from and it says Jerry, it's me. I'm sending you an email. And so I was up to like 1 a.m. trying to sort this stuff out because I was freaking out thinking people were like having their money taken multiple times, or that they were not getting things through, or it wasn't being able to ship places. And so I'm trying to troubleshoot all of these things. And then I knew I had the doctor's appointment. So I went to bed after 1 and got up at 7. And I felt like I had so much energy.
Wow.
It was bizarre. Like
that's
not
really
like
good.
Not like I could go run a marathon, but like I wasn't dragging.
Yes.
And I wasn't snapping, and I wasn't like crawling out of my skin.
And what's crazy is I think when you live with that for so long, you think that that's like a normal way of living.
Yes.
Like this is just momming. This is just being a human.
Right. And
because that's how I was. I used to just think like this is how, especially when, that's why I like what we do so much, but especially when you don't hear people talk about things like that, or when they do talk about depression, it's like
bad,
really bad.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, that couldn't be me. I'm not there yet.
Right.
Or I haven't been there.
Right.
So you just kind of think like the way that you're living is the way normal people live. And then when normal people start to talk about the way that they can function, it's like, wait, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
And so when you finally like get something that fixes it and you feel, you're like, is this how the cloud lives? The cloud kind of lifts, and it's like, oh, no wonder people can get so much shit done. Like son of a bitch.
Or if they don't beat themselves up about it. Yep. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
I like that. Good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm hoping to get on medication as well as soon as I'm done breastfeeding.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Not that that's the only way you can treat your mental health. We respect any form that you want to do it in, but we also want to break down the stigma around medication because there's no shame. There's no shame in the med game. You know what I'm saying?
Truly tried so many other things. So
yeah. So much sunshine.
Yeah. So
speaking of monsters.
Speaking of terrible fucking shit.
Yeah.
Today when we did the nursery rhymes?
Yes.
We got so many, which I knew we were going to get, so many requests to talk about the creepypasta fan theories around a lot of our childhood like shows.
Yeah. I hate creepypasta.
I
Even
know.
the name of it, I'm like, ew, why'd you do that to pasta?
Like, why pasta?
Yeah.
Any other thing? Creepy salami. Come on.
Creepy
Pepperoni?
celery? Why? You're going real Italian.
I am.
You're
I'm
staying
just
in
really
that family.
hungry. Okay. Creepy.
Pomegranate.
Nice. I like that. Because it doesn't scare me.
No, it doesn't scare me. I'm like, oh, it's a creepy pomegranate.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he's just following me around the grocery store a little
Creepy
too closely.
zucchini? Creepy zucchini.
Yeah.
I like the... Is it
Zucchini?
alliteration if it's at the end? Creepy keeny? Creepy keeny is what I call my undercarriage sometimes.
That's my creepy keeny. So I have a lot or I have a little. This could go either way.
Okay.
So if you want me to, I'll expand on some of these is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's all up to you.
I was like, quit talking to me in riddles.
Some of them I can't expand on because some of them are just like, here's what it is. But
Yes.
other ones are like, here's what it is. And do you want more? Because we can tell you more.
Got it.
There's like 2.
Okay.
So the first one that we're going to talk about, I'm sorry if I laugh at some of these. First of all, they are theories, so it's like not real.
Yeah.
But also, some
gonna
of them
be an
are
uncomfortable
so
laugh?
ridiculous. So this one is that the Count on Sesame Street is eating the children.
Wait, what?
So that's why I laugh.
Okay.
So the Count, they say they believe this because he is the only. I almost called him a Muppet.
I think that Sesame Street
or the Muppets.
are Muppets.
Me too. They're not. They're puppets.
Different puppets.
Yeah. So he's the only one. Wait, they called him a Muppet.
Is he a Muppet?
I don't think so. I think he's different. Look it up.
Hey Siri, is the Count a Muppet?
Here's what I found from virtualglobetrotting.com. Count Von Count, often known simply as the Count, is one of the Muppet characters on Sesame Street, performed by Jerry Nelson.
So
They are
Sesame Street are Muppets.
Is Kermit on Sesame Street?
No.
Oh, I'm so confused. But okay.
Is a Muppet a man puppet?
Oh, maybe that's what Muppet means.
Is Muppet a word separately from like the
Puppets?
show?
I don't know. That's so confusing.
Wow.
It has to be. This
So
says
Big Bird's a Muppet? Snuffleupagus is a Muppet?
I can believe Snuffleupagus, but not Big Bird. Big Bird feels real to me.
Like a real person?
Yeah.
Real Big Bird.
So they said because he's the only one that gives off a real creeper vibe, that fans have concocted the theory that perhaps the Count, a vampire in the likeness of Count Dracula, hangs around Sesame Street so he can feed off the blood of the many children who frequent it. And that's why so many of the children on the shows don't last more than a few episodes.
Oh,
However, the adults do. And the way they explain this
Oh.
is that the adults are under his spell
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
bringing the children to him.
Yeah. Have you seen him dance with like letters and numbers and stuff? All the adults are like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's there's not really a way to expand on that.
Got that.
That's just
Got
what
it, got
that
it.
is.
So
And
do we agree or disagree? Let's end with that.
I'm going to disagree.
I thought you were like, I'm going to agree. It's pretty solid evidence there for me, my guy.
I'm going to say it's probably because
I don't feel like they have a
they
strong enough.
age up or child labor laws. You know,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. Or they just get a bigger.
Roll?
Yeah.
It's true. Barney
Yeah.
calls and they're like,
Is
fuck
Barney
Sesame
still
Street.
on?
I think so.
Hmm.
Corey told me that one time a friend of his family's knew the lady who was the other Barney and
Baby Bop?
Baby Bop, and she like his claim to fame is that she came to a family reunion dressed as Baby Bop.
Baby Bop
kids? Yeah.
Wow. Corey knew real Baby Bop?
Corey knew real Baby Bop.
Young Jerry would be losing her goddamn mind.
No.
Barney was my shit.
You're gonna have to
Allegedly.
talk to him about it. I know you knew Baby Bop right off the fucking bat.
I'll never forget Baby Bop.
I didn't watch a lot of those. My mom let me watch Friends and Baywatch. So if that tells you,
There was
why
another
I am
one.
the way
Wasn't
that
it like
I am.
TJ? I
TJ?
think it was Barney, Baby Bop, and like TJ.
Oh yeah, he was like, wow, wow. He was kind of weird. He was like, I'm a crazy kid.
Wasn't he like yellow?
Yes.
I got to look up if his name was TJ.
I feel like PJ.
PJ?
I feel like it's PJ. I feel like it starts with a P. Show me PJ.
Show me PJ. It's BJ.
Son of a bitch.
I can't listen to that sound.
I'm sorry. It just, look at my hives. I have them there too.
I think it's just dry skin. Stop itching it.
I'm not. I just have to. Okay.
Okay.
BJ. I knew it was something like that.
And then Riff.
Who the fuck?
I don't know who Riff is.
That must have been after our time.
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so the next one I have is the show Scooby-Doo. Where Are You? They came out in 1969. Did you know that?
No.
Old as fuck, apparently. Because of that, the theory is to why they have a talking dog. Because nobody ever talks about the fact that Scooby can fucking talk.
Drugs?
It is because Scooby-Doo was part of a Soviet government experiment. So they say that Scooby-Doo was part of an experiment during the Cold War.
Hearing you say Scooby-Doo in the way you are, like
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you?
I feel like I have to do that because we're talking about the Cold War.
Oh, yeah. So
Scooby-Doo. Read all about it. So during the Cold War, did you know that in the 50s they used to send dogs into space? This is actually
into space?
Into space.
I was like, into schools? Yeah, they still do that. They're called drug dogs.
No, they sent them into space in order to spare human lives if they didn't know if
I thought
they'd
they
be
did
able
that
to
with
come
monkeys.
back. Probably monkeys too, but also dogs. So the theory goes that the scientists were trying to create a hyper-intelligent dog, perhaps one that could even communicate what he was seeing. Raggy. But a kind researcher took pity on the dog and fled with Scooby to the United States, and then he started solving crimes
with the dog?
The gang. No.
Oh, so the man just took him,
dropped him off with Shaggy. He was like, this guy is smoking a lot of weed.
He lives in a van. He's not going to ask any questions about this dog being a talking dog.
Being able to talk. Do you care about Pokemon?
Not necessarily, but I'm sure some of our audience do.
All right, then I won't go into detail with this one. But this one just says that Pokemon, I never watched it.
Me neither.
But apparently in some of the earlier episodes, Ash, who is like the main guy, he gets hit by lightning, I guess.
So he is in like a coma and everything is...
He was struck by lightning and he falls into a coma. There's a creepypasta. It's the whole fan theory is on there if you're interested. But the entirety of the series then is taking place inside of his head. So there are many aspects to this, like different characters represent various parts of his psyche or ailments that his body is battling at the time.
Oh, very Wizard of Oz.
Yes. And if Ash were to realize his state, he would suffer brain damage, but he can survive and come out of his coma if he defeats all the obstacles that stand in his way.
Oh, how fun.
Right. For that little boy in the coma. Yes.
What do you think people would do if the title of this episode was "How Fun for That Little Boy in the Coma"?
Canceled immediately.
You think?
I don't know anymore. I was so scared.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of trouble for a simple animated world, but maybe the creators had it more in that meets the eye. So.
Sometimes I think with things like that, they would almost have to agree that that's what's going on after the fact. Like that would not be a forethought.
No, but it's like, yeah,
sure.
We for sure put all of that effort and thought into.
I definitely thought that hard about it.
Yeah, no. Okay, the next one is that Charlie Brown is dying of cancer.
Oh, that's sad as fuck.
Spoiler alert, a lot of these have the same, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So Charlie Brown's character is he's got his dog Snoopy, his sister Sally, Linus, Lucy, his friends. And one commenter shared their theory that Charlie Brown is imagining all of these bad things that keep happening to him. They're in his head because he is coping with the fact that he's actually lying in a hospital bed. dying.
Why are people like putting all this on kids?
I know it's absolutely terrible. This was on Reddit, and they're fucking wild.
They are wild on Reddit. When you were like going through all the characters, I was like, yeah, Patty Mayonnaise, and I'm like, fuck, that's Doug. Never mind.
Close enough.
Yeah.
It says perhaps he feels that even if he's being treated poorly by the other kids in his imagination, at least he gets to interact with them.
Oh, that's sad.
It's so sad. Okay, moving on.
There's no way. Okay. Also, do we agree with the Scooby-Doo one?
Yeah, that one I think is one I do agree with.
Yeah, sure.
It sounds. How else are you going to explain a talking dog in the 70s?
They're on drugs.
Oh, well, yeah. That's fair.
So there's that. But
what about the people who they go up against? You ranger kids. Or
That's
whatever.
true. That's true.
They can also.
The fact that there's all those people who are putting masks on and causing mischief.
That's a problem too. Well, there was another theory about it that I didn't put in here that like they're in like a global economic crisis, much like another Great Depression, and that's why all of them are like doctors and
who are committing crimes,
professors and stuff who are trying to get away with this in a way to get money or like to get like a new whatever. And it's because they're in another depression era. Anyways,
I don't know if I agree with that.
But
Scooby-Doo is definitely made by the Russians.
Sure.
Okay. So
I don't agree with Charlie Brown.
I don't agree with Charlie Brown.
So fucking sad, and I don't want to do this. This is one I'm gonna tell you.
I feel like if that was real and he was imagining it, they'd have better dance moves
for sure
than just the shoulder thing that they do.
Why is he imagining his teacher going mom?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That I think actually goes for it.
Oh, because he's trying to hear people and all he can.
Maybe he can't. They're like just far away, and so they're. Well, now I'm convinced. That whole wah wah wah.
Sorry,
thing.
I accidentally convinced you.
Yeah, you did, because he tunes out adults because they just bring him bad news.
Yes.
Ouch.
Wow, that hurts. That hurts
All
deep down.
Charlie Brown.
This one I've actually heard before, and it's that the Winnie the Pooh characters represent some form of a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like that's a big one that that people are like, no, this is for real, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Like, Tigger has ADHD.
Yep.
Obviously. Pooh has OCD and ADHD because he's like obsessive about his honey and counting. He counts a lot.
Oh.
Who else? Piglet has anxiety, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
Eeyore has depression.
Oh, do you know Eeyore was my favorite one?
That makes a lot of sense.
I used to
had
have
like an animal, right?
I used to have and I gave him a mohawk. His hair was way too long, and when I would lay with him, it would tickle my nose, and I hated it, and so I cut all of his hair.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, which in here he has short hair, so like you did it right. Why did they make his hair so long?
Did him dirty.
You did do him dirty. Owl has dyslexia apparently. I don't remember much about him. But
about Rabbit,
they don't say. I don't know if Rabbit has anything. Do you want to know where they came up with this? Like the place that the theory originates from is a Canadian medical journal.
Wow.
I know. So I was like, damn, this might be legit. Christopher Robin himself, they believe, is thought to have some form of schizophrenia or another identity disorder because he's imagining all of his toys talking back to him and talking to them and so on and so forth. So that's what we have for that one. That one I do think is probably.
Oh, I would buy that someone who was creating characters
modeled them after those.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily like intentionally after the different disorders, but like when you're, I think, creating characters like that, you have to almost do it to an exaggerative level.
Sure. To
give them their own identities, like especially in a kids movie where like
stuffed animals,
they're labeled one thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. I could see that happening.
Yeah, and you know what I loved about it was that even though they all have their things, like Eeyore never wants to come out, nobody ever gave up on him.
No.
They're just best friends.
He was like, leave me in the rain.
I know, and they're like, we won't. Tigger's like, freaking all about it.
I'm not coming.
So good. And we bounce. This one says, Curious George is God.
What? The monkey?
The monkey.
With the raincoat?
Yes.
Okay, why?
So, this says, how can one monkey have so much? So the thing is, if you've ever watched it, the monkey gets into trouble like everywhere. The whole series is just about him fucking shit up.
Okay.
But every time he makes it back into the arms of his well, they never say.
His handler?
Big Yellow Hat Man.
Does he have a name?
I don't think they ever say his name. But he's
Big
always
Yellow
like
Hat Man.
he's always like unscathed, and he's always like credited for saving the day, even though he's the one that fucked all the shit up.
Curious George?
Yes. My son used to be obsessed with the Curious George on Netflix Halloween special or something.
Huh.
My God, I watched it so many goddamn times. It was ridiculous.
So you'd think you'd know Big Yellow Hat Man.
I don't know shit about it because I tune it out because that's what I do for most children's things that I've been subjected to watching over and over again. Okay. But the Redditor proposed the theory that Curious George is something of a god to these people, and they are unaware of his many powers. After all, he's able to protect local businesses from a rough economic climate. Apparently that happens. Okay. He eliminates pollution altogether and just generally prevents any crime or misconduct that might otherwise occur. This theory seems a bit too general to hold much weight. Oh, wow, you're persuading me. But it at least solves the mystery of how everyone simply knows what the rascal is up to at all times.
I don't know if I buy that one.
No, I don't like that one, but I do think it's funny.
I would really love for God to be a monkey.
If God was a monkey... And it Big Yellow Hat Man.
Oh, yeah, that would be hysterical to me.
That would be.
Could you imagine what people would do if all of a sudden they found out that God was a monkey?
Well, what would they do?
I don't know. Pray to him.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it right now. He throws his poop at you. His metaphorical poop.
Yes.
So there's two about SpongeBob.
Okay.
One is that Bikini Bottom, there was some kind of like nuclear waste spill.
Okay, I've heard
ocean.
this one, I think.
Yes, and that's why they all can talk and fuck shit up, and there's a squirrel there for some reason.
Yeah.
The other one is that SpongeBob and his friends represent the 7 deadly sins. So,
okay. I could see this being true.
We have Mr. Krabs, Greed. Mm-hmm.
Wait, I want to guess. Okay. Tell me the names.
Squidward.
Oh, what are the 7 deadly sins?
I don't want to tell you.
Patrick is sloth.
Yes. So you have sloth, you have pride, you have envy, you have lust, you have wrath.
Okay. Plankton is wrath.
Oh, no.
Is Squidward wrath?
Yes.
Okay.
Plankton
is envy.
Yes. Of Mr. Krabs. Good job.
Okay.
Pride.
Sandy?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of Texas. Lust. You don't think of it so much.
Is it the whale daughter?
No.
What's her name? Pearl? I forgot her name. I just know that she's Mr. Krabs' daughter and she's a whale.
Yeah. Let's say, okay, it's lust, but it's a lust for life.
Oh, SpongeBob is lust?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, because lust for, I don't know.
Jellyfish?
Yes. And then gluttony.
Oh.
This one's tough.
Gluttony?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know any of the other
There's one
characters.
person on there that, I guess there was a
chocolate. Is it the chocolate dying grandma lady?
So I love her.
Okay.
It's Gary.
Gary.
He's a cat and he eats a bunch of
I don't buy that one. You lost me.
No, me neither.
Some of it I was with, but I feel like they were...
Well, this is like, it says, these certainly aren't exact. Squidward is more grumpy and annoyed than full of hate, and Gary is, like most pets, simply interested in fulfilling his basic needs like eating, but the theory might still hold water.
Fair enough.
Oh,
hold water. Laughs in SpongeBob.
This one is so on brand for this episode. This is that the fairy and the Fairly Odd Parents are Timmy's antidepressants.
Oh.
Yeah. So
they
this
have Timmy on antidepressants?
Apparently.
Isn't he in elementary school? Can you put an elementary schooler on an antidepressant?
Probably.
Oh,
This
that's
says,
really sad.
Timmy's parents are pretty clueless and usually far too busy to know what's going on with their son. This is likely the starting point for this theory, which proposes that Timmy is depressed and Cosmo and Wanda represent Zoloft and Prozac.
Oh.
Respectively.
Yeah.
They appear when he starts struggling to deal with the problems in his life, and while they don't make them go away completely, they do make them easier for Timmy to handle.
Aww.
I know.
I always wanted a Cosmo and Wanda.
And now you have one of them. Which one?
I don't know.
Which one do you think is Zoloft?
They're blue. So neither.
No. Combo of the two. I would say
My
that
depression,
Cosmo.
Icky Vicky.
Yes. Icky Vicky, you're so icky.
You need Chris Kilpatrick to come down here and be like, "With shiny teeth and me, shiny teeth and me."
Yes. Just Skylark.
Shiny teeth
That's sparkle.
just like stars and sparkle.
Okay, so I have two really big ones, and I
Okay.
don't know if you watched one of these, but I know you watched the other one.
Is one of them Rugrats?
Yes.
Okay, of course. I was gonna say,
Yes.
like, if you don't have the Rugrats one on here, that is like the main
My
one.
number one. The other one is about Ed, and Eddie.
I did not watch Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
I knew you didn't.
I
but
was
for the
not a
people
big-
that did.
I was not a big Cartoon
Cartoon
Network
Network.
person, but I'm sure we have a lot of Cartoon Network people in our audience. Shane's a big Cartoon Network guy.
Okay, so he'll listen to this. You're not going to
Yeah.
fucking understand any of these, but
Okay.
I'll tell it for the people that do.
Okay.
So the theory posts that the kids who live in the cul-de-sac are all actually dead in reality, and that the lives they lead are actually taking place in a purgatory-like setting.
Ew.
Because it's never like not summer. It's like
Okay.
always summer break.
Okay.
You rarely see adults in it. It's mostly just these same kids hanging out, and some of
Mhm.
them they look like from a different era. Like there's one kid that looks like he could come from the 1900s, and then all the way up to like the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's hard to pinpoint what time it takes place.
Mhm.
And they all have like bluish green tongues, which is like like if you die.
Oh yeah. Ew.
Yeah. So I have how they all died. Potentially. This person came up with it. It's not going to be fun because you don't know the characters,
Right.
but everybody else who does,
Yeah.
listen up. So according to the theory, the children of the cul-de-sac each hail from different eras, from the early 1900s to the early 2000s. Rolf is the first one. He's
Okay.
got a bunch of farm animals and shit. He arrives first. He's from the early 1900s, and the theory goes that his family moved to Peach Creek in order to establish a farm on its land. Oh my God, they like friggin' have all of these. Are they all Peach Creek? Yes. So it must be that they all lived in this area, but now
Yep.
they're just living dead. Living dead. To establish a farm on its own. Rolf died around 1903 when his family's farm animals stampeded and trampled him to death. This was the supposed reason as to why he only has one cow, one goat, a few pigs, and a few chickens in the afterlife, because it's not enough animals to cause a fatal stampede. Although I'm pretty sure if one cow runs you over, like, you're fucking done.
I think
I
more
don't
people
know.
die from cows than they do sharks
I've heard that.
in a year. Is that true? Is that a common misconception?
Yeah, please let us know. So the next one is Johnny. He's got Plank.
Okay, I know who Plank is.
So he comes to the cul-de-sac not too long after Rolf's death. Having no friends in life, Johnny took a marker and drew a face on a piece of wood and named it Plank. He died in 1922 after fighting a long battle with tuberculosis, 6 years before the discovery of penicillin. The way that this person went into vivid detail about shit that's not real makes me so
Yeah.
happy. For some reason, I love
Wow.
when people do this. Like their
Mhm.
imagination.
Invested.
I'm like, write a fucking book, bro.
Right.
Honestly. He took his friend Plank with him to the afterlife, since he was the last thing that he saw in life before he died. Purgatory would also explain Plank's occasional sentient behavior, which is most notably demonstrated in the movie, which I didn't fucking watch.
No.
So Eddie came next. So Eddie's the one that's like kind of he's kind of douchey.
You could literally say anything and I'd be like, sure.
Okay. So he was born in New York, but eventually moved to Peach Creek during the Great Depression era. Always trying to get a quick buck, he would set up scams to get money from the cul-de-sac kids in an effort to escape the poverty he spent his whole life in. Eddie didn't have a father figure since his real father abandoned him and his mother shortly after he was born. With this came the big brother that he adores and idolizes so very much, despite the brother's abusive nature. After one of his scams went awry, Eddie was chased by the swindled children of the cul-de-sac and ran into the lake and ran to the lake and jumped into it. He ended up drowning in that lake, and he soon joined the other deceased children in the afterlife. Even though he was no longer alive, Eddie still tried to chase after the almighty dollar by continuing his swindling nature in the afterlife.
My goodness.
Then you get Ed and Sarah. Ed is the one that's kind of like, what's up, you guys?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So their father died fighting in World War II, and as a result, their mother became distant and disconnected. To cope, Sarah developed her bossy attitude, trying to fill the role that their parents used to fill before their father died and their mother stopped caring about them.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, Ed shut the world out and delved into his fantasy world of comic books and monster movies, which exploded in popularity during and after World War II in order to escape his unhappy life. And then they both died in a freak car accident in 1953.
Is this person okay?
I don't think so. But also, I want them to write a fucking book. It's how I feel about Stephen King, where I'm like, he's a genius, but has anybody checked on him? Because, whoa.
I heard that he's afraid of the number 13.
Really?
Yeah, even though he wrote a whole book about it, I think.
Well, that might be the number 13?
You're talking to me, okay? I'm talking out of my ass.
I'm thinking about
the
number 23, and that was a movie, so never mind.
That
I'm
was
like,
Jim
wait a
Carrey.
minute.
No, but I'm pretty sure that Stephen King has a fear of the number 13.
That's crazy.
Remember, I don't know dig about shit. So
Okay.
I could be very wrong, but I think I heard it one time and that's why we drink.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
if
That's
I'm
really cool.
wrong, take it up with them.
I know that he did a lot of drugs while he was writing books, specifically It, and that's why there's like a fucking giant alien spider at the end, and it's fucking crazy.
No thanks.
So I'm only going to do one more,
Okay.
which is Ed Double D, because there's a bunch more characters, but those were like the main ones that I like. He was born in the 70s when preparing to attend college from a young age became the societal norm expectation and was raised by very strict, controlling, emotionally distant parents. They pushed him to succeed academically and to be perfectly clean and neat. He is believed to have died as a result of a gas leak causing an explosion with the Bunsen burner from his chemistry set.
Good Lord.
I know!
What a way to go out.
I guess. And that is that theory. And the last one we have is obviously
Yes.
the Rugrats one, which is really fucked up, honestly.
Do we agree with the Ed, Ed, and Eddie one?
Yeah.
I'll say sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Sure.
Sounds
about
right.
Honestly, I want to say yes just because of the amount of fucking time that person
Amount of work that person put in is like, yeah, you know what? We'll just say yes because you deserve it. You've earned it.
Yes.
Okay.
This one's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So apologies and, trigger warnings, I guess, if it's not real, but
yeah. For
it's
what are we
talking about
trigger warning?
dead children.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, the Rugrats really. Oh, okay. So the theory is that the Rugrats was a figment of Angelica's imagination altogether. So, none of the babies were real. I mean, they were, but
yeah.
Chucky died in 1986 along with his mother. I don't know if it was during childbirth or directly after, but that is why Chaz, her husband, is a nervous wreck all the time. Tommy was stillborn in 1988, and that's why Stu is constantly in the basement making toys for a son who he never had a chance to live. The DeVilles actually had an abortion or a miscarriage in 1990, and Angelica can't figure out whether it would be a boy or a girl, so that's why she creates the twins. I know. And then it goes on to say, as for all grown up, the teenage Angelica became addicted to various narcotics, which further aggravated her apparent schizophrenia, which is why she, bringing her back to her childhood and thus her creation she obsessed over. I did also read, it's not in this one, but it's in another one that I read. I really delved into this one, but it was that her mother was actually a drug addict, and she died from an overdose, and the woman that married her father then is the one that's like all put together and she's
with the straight back ponytail,
right? But her real mother, she always pines for, and that's why she has Cynthia. It is like a representation of her real mother. She's got the fucking hair.
Yeah. Yes. The one episode where Cynthia goes down like the river is like that sticks in my mind so deeply.
That is the one that like fucks me up so bad.
Yeah.
Why? Because she gets all fucked up and then they still play with her. I don't know. That one traumatized
I just remember
me.
her like Cynthia in the water.
And just being like bobbing in and out of shit. That's really disgusting. Getting fucking gooped on.
Yep.
Fucking straight gooped on.
Yep.
So, okay.
Is that why like the adults don't really pay attention to anything the babies are doing? Because the babies aren't really there.
Because they're not there. And why? Yeah. Because of the time lapse. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm sorry. Angelica, at this point and all grown up, was constantly taking hits of acid so she would never have to live without her creations, who ended up being her only company. Later in life, she followed in her mom's footsteps with drugs and ended up dying of an overdose at the end of when All Grown Up was canceled.
I also don't think this person's
This person
okay.
is not okay at all.
I think with the beginning of it, they may have been onto something. Like I could understand why they would make those jumps. But like once you get to the all grown up part, it's like you're just fucking reaching.
Yeah.
You are just real trying. You're trying
more.
hard. There's more?
So the only Rugrat...
She's dead.
No, well, this goes back. The only Rugrat that they believed to not be fictional was Dill.
Yes. Pickle,
Dill
which I did not get until I was
it's
so
funny.
much older.
It's so funny. How about Dr. Lipschitz? We all just let that slide in a fucking kids show? What the fuck? I forgot about Dr. Lipschitz. They talked about him all the time. Lipschitz. The fact that I would look at my mom like, they're fucking saying shits right on this. Are we for real?
I was like, he sounds knowledgeable.
Dr. Lipschitz.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if someone probably has that last name and I'm being so
Lipschitz?
offensive. Yeah.
If your last name is Lipschitz, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Honestly.
Let us know in the comments below.
In a nice way, for the love of God. However, Angelica didn't know the difference between Dill and her creations, although Dill didn't follow her commands, which is a big reason why they believed it. After endless crying, and he's the only one that doesn't talk. He acts like an actual baby.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't talk and like walk around and shit.
Yep.
After
keep tools in his diaper.
After endless crying and a refusal to disappear. Oh wait, no, this gets fucked up. I'm sorry. To disappear like the others did when Angelica was angry with them, she hit him. Due to this, he sustained a brain injury, which is why when he grows up, and all grown up, he lives as an outcast, being ridiculed for his weirdness.
Aww.
The immense guilt over this is what led Angelica to her drug use and overdose subsequently.
Yeah.
Apparently. Then you have Susie, who was actually Angelica's friend, and she entertained the thought of Angelica's creation for her sake. Angelica spent the last days of her life in the back of the school cafeteria, imagining friends around her and playing with the lives of her creation.
That's too much.
I told you it was about to get fucky.
I know, but that's a lot. Like I knew about the babies part, but I didn't know about the all grown up where I just feel like you went too far. Mm-hmm. You've gone too far. Go home, you drunk.
You could have just go home, you drunk. Or honestly, seriously, are you okay?
Yeah,
like
truly.
Talk to us or to somebody.
You know what other Rugrats episode really fucked me up? Is the one where Angelica,
she's a really good dancer,
where Angelica's supposed to have a sibling, and you remember that big giant baby that's like, want a cookie, baby, and it's like drooling all over itself, and it's huge. Nightmare City.
Can we talk about the Hey Arnold episode where the grandpa's fucking jaw falls off? Do you remember that?
No.
He's like. So he's imagining like in the future, and Hey Arnold, like Arnold is there was another one about Hey Arnold, which is that the whole thing is actually about Helga and how her life is just fucking terrible, and that she's actually the star of the show because she's the only one that actually has a monologue, and she's the one that says Hey Arnold and all that shit, and that it's actually about her, but she gets ignored much like everything else in her life. Sad. Anyways, so he's like imagining him and I think it's because him and his friend Gerald, they have a friend breakup, so he's like imagining
what his life looks like in the future,
and he's like on this bus, and then he turns around and his grandpa's like, I told you, Sonny, and then his jaw falls off because he's like 180 years old or something.
Mortifying.
He wouldn't be that old, but I remember watching that and being like,
Well, we all just let him have a dick for a head and say nothing about it. So,
yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, that's true. So, anyways, I hope you didn't get fucked up from these. But
if you have other ones, share them with us,
please,
in the comments or in the Fangens page or wherever you feel like it. Mm-hmm. Don't send it in a message because stuff is like,
oh my God,
we're all backed up.
Yeah,
we won't see it. But if you want to share it with people, go to the YouTube, comment it on there, or do it in the group or on the photo that I'll probably post.
Yeah, put it in the Instagram comments. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we get a lot of people that send us their DMs that like they want to talk about things with other people. Just put it in the comments.
Yeah, if you're comfortable sharing it publicly,
we'll probably see it
in the comments.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to sort through that way. Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, that's that on weird fan theories. Should I call it weird?
Dark fan theories.
After dark. All right. We love you guys so much.
Yeah.
And if this isn't situated, I will cut this next part out. We are moving to Patreon. I want to make that announcement because I believe it's official.
Real now?
Yeah. So
apologies to everybody who's been asking. We didn't want to say anything until it was official. So
yeah, because we weren't sure.
We didn't confusion.
We didn't want to jerk anyone around until we had
like a set platform to post things.
So everything, all of our exclusive content, video and audio is going to be housed on Patreon. So if you are an exclusive member on YouTube, you're going to want to cancel that. We're no longer going to be uploading on there. If you were an exclusive member through Red Circle, they should have already canceled your subscription. All prior exclusive episodes will be uploaded to Patreon as well. So you'll have access to all of our previous exclusive episodes as well. So no need to worry about that.
Yeah, audio and visual for everything. So
yeah. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We love you. And we will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.